I saw your mouth open. Welcome everybody to Truth or Tinfoil. It is Sunday. Woo! Like it makes a difference to me.
Yay.
I
Eh, the
work
day's a
all week
day's a
long. It
day, right?
don't matter what day it is. It
Yep.
don't matter what day it is. Anyway, Gary and I
Oh, I'm all
have talked before about Gary Spikes. He's in the chat,
yep,
and
he's in chat.
we've
I
talked
about to say, if
before
you call
about
me Gary, we're gonna fight right now.
no, we've talked before about things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Prince and things like that, and
Yep.
so we have people in chat who've seen some stuff,
Yep. And
So I'm excited to go over these because
I know
some of
Gary
these
knows
things,
his stuff, so
right,
yep.
right. So so I'm excited about some of these because I haven't seen these.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about it, and we've been getting some good feedback on this because, like I said, some of these things, we've not seen, and we're just going by what we see and explaining this. And this is awesome. This is an awesome
And
show. I love this show.
there's a couple of these
And
this week that are actually ones I'd never seen before, so we're
right,
we're winging it.
right. It's
We're winging it.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, it's what it says. You changed times. I just realized. No, it's
Who
still
changed
five
time?
o'clock.
It's still
It's
five
still
o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We just jumped forward. Remember, we sprang forward today,
I
so
do have to tell on Randy a bit because
ah,
Randy hasn't been feeling well. So, he was talking about not being on the show today. And I guess he got reprimanded by his wife today,
yep,
saying that
and
he has to do this show because it's his daughter's favorite.
yeah, and she's out there too. So I get to deal with her. Yay! I just realized that because
I think
I
that's
don't have the
funny.
comments up. I was on the brand side over there, so I didn't even see she was out there. Yay! Now you get to get it a little bit earlier since she's in the UK. She gets to watch it at 10 her time instead of 11 her time.
Right, right. Yeah, they don't do that time change thing, do they?
No,
That's
we're
an
the only ones
American
in the
thing.
world that do it.
I know. I hope they quit that. I'm tired.
Yeah. What do we do? Do we stay with the standard time or do we go stay all daylight time? Which way do we go with it?
To me, I mean, I go back to the farmers. They know when they have to go out and work
Exactly.
because that's when the daylight comes up, and they don't stop till daylight, goes down. The sun goes down, they stop. So I go with that. Whatever
Yeah.
they choose,
Okay.
whatever they choose.
She says, I guess that they do it over there, just on a different
Oh,
day.
just a different day.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
I tell you what, just stick with getting up with the roosters and the chickens and go to bed when they go to bed and you're good. Don't worry about it.
You're good.
So,
That's exactly right. Again, I want to tell everybody if you are on the Texas front porch side, we are now only in the Truth or Tinfoil chat. So you'll have to come over to this channel. By the end of March, Randy and I will be only streaming to this channel. So, for chat purposes and everything, just, get in the habit of start coming on over. Anybody out there just listening and not in chat, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Today's a good day.
yeah.
Time change.
Yeah. Do it now.
The time
Thanks.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to run through the channel lineup and then we'll get going.
Hit it. Let's roll.
On Mondays at 7 p.m. it is Danielle Diva in the Diva Dimension. At 8 p.m. it is Texas Front Porch with Tex and myself. On Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central, it is Beyond BMR with his co host Krista. On Wednesdays at 7 p.m., it's Donnie Cho Says Stuff. At 8 p.m., it is Inhumanoids with Barton Nunley and his wife Letitia. On Thursdays at 12 p.m. Central, it is Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob. And at 8 p.m. Central on Thursdays, it's Blondes and Booze. And you can catch Blondes and Booze again on Friday at 7 p.m. Central. We don't currently have any shows on Saturday right now, but you can go watch Paranormal Among Us, which is Paul, and his show is at 8 p.m. Central. Or you can catch PRT and their Alien series they have going on Sundays at 5 p.m. Central. Of course, it's us, Truth or Tinfoil, with Randy, Gilbert, and myself. And at 6 p.m., Tex and Danielle Diva released their newest episode of Infamous Minds. But starting March 21st, which is a Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, Monica Rollins will be bringing us a new podcast on Texas Front Porch, and that will be Our Paranormal World.
Yes. We're happy. We're happy. One of us. Come on, Monica. Where's
One of
Monica at?
us.
One of us. Okay. All right.
All right. Well,
So
let's get into it. Let's get into it.
this is gonna be a fun one here. We're gonna go right into one everybody's
Yeah.
seen. Everybody's seen them. Everybody knows about them. We're gonna have some fun with this one. This is 1951 in the Himalayas.
Yeah. Because, we had a discussion about this one, and I'm looking at
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, I don't recognize these. And Randy's
Yes.
like, oh, yeah. You've seen it. And
You've seen them.
there's another picture that
I'm gonna make sure I'm going the right way with
I've
it, though.
seen. Right.
Hang on. I'm gonna double check because if I hit the wrong way, I'm going to go the wrong way. So I want to make sure I go the right one. No
Go the
technical
right way.
difficulties. All right. Yeah.
This is
There
the
we go.
picture
That's
that
one.
I've seen.
That's one everybody recognizes right off the bat.
Now remember, 1950s, Himalayas.
Yep.
So we're talking
1952.
Yeti.
And who took this picture? Eric Shipton. When they took this picture, he's obviously standing right over the top of this after they found it.
Yeah, he's got to be. And that looks like a pickaxe he's got right there.
Yep. That's a pick. Mountaineering tool. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
But as you can see, you can see distinct toes. Now,
Yeah, you can. And they're very odd shaped.
and I think that's probably what caught him off guard the most when they did take it, because I don't understand. You look at it. Some people say, "Oh, it was a bear." Oh, it was that. Me and you looked at it, and we're like, "Yeah, maybe it was a bear after the snow had washed out, and spread out some." But there's no claw marks, and bears have pretty dadgum big claws.
Well, yeah, and their paws are, to me, they're more rounded.
Yeah.
When they make a print.
Yep.
So for me, I always found this fascinating because this is way before the digital age. This is
Yes. Yep.
what
It
you
very
see
well.
is what you get here.
Hang on, I'm gonna pick something right now. I'm gonna make another one of one of us. There we go, senior. Have fun.
Come on, Gary.
Gary gets one there. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, all right. So yeah, so we're looking at that, and then as we go to the next picture, they just turned it sideways, okay, to add it into, and you get a little bit more of the picture with this way too. As you can see, where the snow breaks up top there, up in this area, you kind of get a little bit more of a gauge of the size and what the snow was like where they found it. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
very thick snow there.
No.
So was it just part of what was on
And
a rock?
well, and to me, it also looks more like not a powdered snow. It looks more like a wet snow.
Yeah, that does. That and kind of a melting snow almost. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Uh, uh, try to think of when I was in Chiemsee in Germany. Uh, it was one of those things that when you put your foot in, at the end of the day, it's all powdery. The next morning, you get up and come out there on that slope, and you go to step on it, it's solid ice on top.
Right.
That kind of deal.
Okay. So let's start pointing out the
I'm gonna look over
weirdness
here now.
of these pictures. Of course,
Yeah.
we're talking about number one, the toes.
Yep.
Um, it's showing distinct 4 toes, just four, not five, just four. But that doesn't mean that there's not a toe there. Of course, we're dealing with snow.
Yeah.
And depending on how long they were there before they got to them and took the
Yeah.
picture.
Yep. And Bim Jim said it right. One track doesn't convince me of anything, but we're talking once again of 1951. There wasn't a whole lot. He wasn't gonna waste a whole lot of film on something he didn't know what the heck it was. He just knew it was out of the ordinary.
Right.
So same thing with the line here, like we were talking
Right.
about. That's the thing. A lot of people looked at me that told me before and said, "Well, that's just a tracking a bear." And my question is, does a bear walk with their in a straight line, or is it? I see they're a couple of them are a little bit off center, but for the most part, it's almost a straight line.
Yeah. I mean, as we were talking about earlier, um, and somebody said frostbite. Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Yeah,
That's
very
a
much.
possibility. But it almost looks as if how a rabbit hops.
Yeah.
That they're pretty much in line with each other, and
Yep.
I mean that they're too big to be that, but it would have to be an animal
Yeah.
that on 4 legs that would actually walk or hop like that.
Well, maybe somebody can give me an idea. Maybe a snow leopard, perhaps. I'm not for sure. I don't even know if they knew what the heck those were at that time frame. But like Gary said, bears stagger their steps. So when we're talking about staggering step, there's still two distinct sides, right? If that's the way I'm understanding, there's two
Yes,
distinct
yes.
sides
Even if
of
they're walking
yeah,
in their tracks, if their front paw and their back paw are stepping in the same spot,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
it would still be on two distinct sides.
Now here's one from Roger. Roger's got pointed out what I'd pointed out earlier too. We can't tell.
No.
And I don't know of any pictures out there of this expedition where they actually measured other than that one footprint. So,
Yeah, this is something that I mean, a few people were into the Yeti, Bigfoot thing like that back in
mhm,
the 50s, but it wasn't like it is now.
no. This is one of the ones that started the fervor.
Yeah.
I mean, this was one of the big honcho things, you got the logger in California in what, 58 or whatever it was, or 56.
Mhm. Right, right.
Then you had this. These two, and that's what started Patterson. Honestly, that's what got him going, was that logger trail. But anywho,
Well, Moon said, "Let's see. I just looked. Bear tracks in the snow are similar, but that's not an exact match by a long shot."
yeah,
Exactly.
the tracks are similar, but aren't they two distinct sides? You can see them, altered. You know what I mean? There's distance
Right,
between the line.
right.
So anyway,
Well, and then if we knew how long the pick was, I mean,
I would say a normal pickaxe for a mountaineer is approximately 18 inches. So I already know that well, 18, let's say 12 to 14 inches. Let's do it that way. I'll say 12
yeah,
to 14 inches because it's just a little like a hatchet almost, you just
yeah.
really single hand use. So, yeah, I'm gonna wrestle. I don't understand why they never took more pictures. I would imagine because of lack of film at that time because they had to
Well, they
worry
didn't
about the
know.
film.
They
Yeah,
didn't know.
no, they
They
figure,
did.
oh,
They
this
don't
was
do the
good.
stuff that we do. You
Yeah.
know.
So, okay, we've delved in the past. Now,
Yeah. You know what?
I'm
I
saying I still believe in the Yeti because this is an oddball because most Yeti encounters and stuff don't happen at this level. They happen down at that that level below the tree line, where the food's at. This is like somebody trying to, or one of them trying to get away type thing.
Yeah, or moving to a new spot. I mean,
Yeah.
either or.
Yep. So,
And Roger, yeah, we said we didn't see any claw marks. If it were a bear, we didn't see any claw marks.
yeah,
So I'm gonna go with, I'm believing that this is a legit print.
I think I'm going to go with that too. And of course, now my daughter's sending me pictures over here. I'm like, why can't you do this like an hour and a half ago? Thank you. Actually, she sent me pictures of the snow leopard prints, and if they were washed out, I mean, melted out and stuff and such, they could conceivably be that same line. They got the same lining, but those look, unless if they're the same size as that one print is, that's not a snow leopard. I'm sorry.
I just don't think so. Just by the
No.
one print alone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no, it is not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna believe this is legit.
Because I mean, here's something here, some sort of shack of some sort or lean-to that they've done right here. So that means these have got to be pretty big.
Yeah, I'm thinking
So
so too. It's something.
serious meltout. So anyway, all right. So we're off with this one, and let's see what was the next. I was just rolling down the line, wasn't I? But no, I'm not
Yep.
going to do that. I'm gonna save this one. I don't want to do that one. So all right, this one we talked about. This was what did I say, Whitewater Valley. Let me look again, make sure. Whitewater Canyon, Bernard, Iowa.
Iowa. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Whitewater
Okay.
Canyon, Bernard, Iowa.
This is a kind of Where's Waldo.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way it came up, and it came up as one of the best ever type things, out there.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
I
like,
mean, as we look at this, I mean, to me, it stuck out. Right from the get go. It stuck out to me.
yeah,
Can anybody
yeah,
else see that?
yeah.
Um,
I could right off the bat too, but it's because it's out of the blue. It's literally out of the blue. You got foliage, dead foliage, and brown foliage. All of a sudden, there's something nice and black. Boom, right
right.
here.
Go ahead and pull it up.
I'm gonna zoom in pretty close right there, and you see it's on a stream. It's right on the stream.
This is reminiscent to me of that one photo we did of the actual fisherman in the water.
Exactly, the one that was crossing the water. Everybody, it was a Michigan photo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right.
So,
And you're
where's
talking.
DMR? We can give him hell.
You are talking Iowa.
Yep.
There are remote places, remote streams.
Yep. And that looks, the way he's standing, unless he's walking, it just looks like a fisherman going along the bank. It really does to me. But
if he's even
because of how
walking,
far,
maybe he's balancing himself on a rock or
he's casting. I just can't.
or
We just can't see
casting.
how far it is away. We can't tell if he's got a rod in his hand or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any definition or anything that stands out that says this would be something cryptid.
No.
This basically looks human to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've run across photos before like that of, hunters or fishermen or, something like that. And it's not uncommon to see one person out at a stream by themselves. It's not uncommon.
No, not in the least. And I was a little bit more tame than I'd say, the Pacific Northwest. Obviously, you up there and you're out, you better have your bear spray with you. Now, I always got some black bears, but, they aren't going to really bother you. Like the guys up in Vermont used to say, they call them moles, is what they called them. But,
Right.
there you don't have to worry about a whole lot because your biggest predator in that area is either wolves, the black bear, or I guess there might be bobcats, mountain lions in that area. I'm assuming there'd be at least bobcats, but I don't know about the mountain lions.
There may be. I mean, we'd have to look that up to be absolutely sure, but there may be.
But it's the heartland. I mean, it's basic. Every predator in the heartland there. You know?
Hey, Danielle. Yeah, I mean, but I don't think it doesn't look like any of those. I mean, I believe the photo is legit.
Yeah.
Um, I
Now,
don't see anything that points out that anything was like
no, and
photoshopped or anything in it. It looks like a legit picture,
now
but
they
I
did
just
some
don't
enhancing on it
believe.
though. They
Yeah,
did
I
do
just
some
don't
enhancing on it.
believe that the subject in the picture is
No,
supernatural or paranormal or, cryptid or
no.
whatever you want to
Well,
call it.
they made sure we could figure out where it's at. So
Oh, well, there you go.
as you can see, they did
Red
a little bit
circle.
of lightning. They did some contrasting and such with a probably Photoshop more than likely, but they didn't do
Yeah,
anything to the actual picture itself. They were just trying to get a contrast so they could see more what this figure was. The reason they
yeah.
did that, the guy that was on his walk, he was on a morning walk with his sister, and they saw him and they thought he was a guy, and they started hollering to say, hey, what's up, type thing, or from the top of the hill. Got no response at all. Now, dude might have had some earphones in. By the time they got down there, he was gone. So
Or
he
some
might have
people
had,
just don't want to be bothered. There are those
yeah,
people. Hey, I'm out here fishing. I don't want
yeah. If I'm out there, right there, don't come talk to me. I'm fishing. All right, leave me
to.
alone.
I'm fishing.
I'm
A
fishing.
man in his thoughts. Leave him alone. No.
Exactly.
Tex said it looks like somebody fishing, and that's what we
Yeah.
said. We've had pictures like this before of actual. It was a fly
Yep.
fisherman, I believe,
Yeah.
um, in the water, and that's very similar to this. And it
But
looks
and
like
that
the
one looked
sun's
like.
beating down on the water. Some of the
Yep.
trees are giving it shade.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and that one with the guy going across the water. I mean, you could see the tackle. I mean, you could see the coat and the tackle that he had on him. I think we thought we saw a rod, if I'm not mistaken, too, but it was
yeah, on that
so
one
hard
we
to
looked
see at
at.
that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
But I'm gonna go
anyway,
with this is probably a fisherman or somebody,
that's what I'm
just
saying
out
too.
in the woods. I'm not gonna
It's
say
not
this is
no, not cryptid, but it's not tinfoil either.
right. It's a nice
All right.
picture.
Are we gonna wing it and see what's next? No, I ain't gonna wing it. The minute I wing it, there's gonna be something I don't want to be up there. Oh no, this was one. This is going right up you tracker guys' alleys. Okay,
Uh-oh.
this is Johnstown, Pennsylvania, 1980.
1980. Can you blow that up for us, Randy?
No, I refuse. Oh,
Yeah, you better, because like I said,
you,
okay, here, no, bring it back down so we can
okay,
see the whole picture just closer.
that's the whole picture right there. Yep, freaky. That's a book of matches. They did when they found this. They didn't have anything to measure with, so us everybody in 1980 smoked, so we got to have the matches with us. So
Well, and if they're out there in the woods, they could have them for fires or whatever. But I mean,
if it was wet ground and you threw those matches on there, I think I'd be mad though. You ain't
I
gonna use
would
anything
too.
else on those matches again.
I'd be mad.
Okay, my phone's
I mean,
going
Gary
crazy.
says 7 toes, something's wrong, kind of screwy. I don't know if that's necessarily 7 toes or was it where
I
the
see
foot
5.
went down and if the ground was kind of wet where they used the leverage of the toes to push off for the next step, it could have
Yeah,
created something kind of funky there. I mean, it could
yeah,
have slid, it could have slid right into something because like I said, we don't know the terrain. We
yeah.
don't know if
I don't
this
know
is
if that
kind
was
of
the side
going
of a
down
hill.
into a hole
Yeah,
or what, because if you watch and you're walking say in the mud or even in the sand and you push off your foot sinks down, you push off, it creates kind of a weird kind of footprint.
yeah. Like he says, like Gary says, toes didn't slide though. The only one that looked like it might have slid would have been that big toe. Now, could there have been an issue with the foot itself? I'm not for sure. Obviously, we're not no be all, no alls and be alls, obviously, but just looking at it, seeing the toes out on the side,
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna have to say this, and I mean, uh, I've seen some humans with some really weird
Oddballs.
feet.
Hey, don't bring up feet.
Some
Feet's a
odd
touchy
feet.
subject around here.
Right. It's odd feet. I'm not saying that that's a perfect image. It looks like to me that it was like it kind of slid or something. That's what it looks like to
Yeah.
me.
And we're all looking at it. Of course, the reason this came back up was because they found there was another sighting in that same area last year. That's why this one resurfaced with their newspapers and such at the time. And what I was looking at is there's we know now, obviously, compared to before, there should be a mid-tarsal break. Okay. We don't know what the ground's like here. Is this already hardened up? It looks like
Right.
this is plaster here, so we're betting that somebody casted this.
Yeah, which
That's the
which
bet.
could have disturbed it too. I mean, once they
Exactly.
pulled it up out of there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's tough to
Yeah, because
say
it
now.
does look like plaster around it.
Yeah. So, and Abby said the same thing, or said another thing. She's like, it may not even be a real footprint. It may just be an impression from something else. It's a
Yeah.
possibility. That's my daughter had to bring up the daggum scientific side of crap all the time. Stop it. Anyway,
I'm thinking that you it's weird.
yeah, it's just
I can't say I can't say for sure of anything on this picture except for the heel. You can definitely see the
yeah,
distinct heel, but again, they took a cast of it and they could have,
done something when they pulled the cast out because there's going to
yeah,
be
it could
some
have
dirt and
messed up
stuff
the print
attached.
somehow.
Yeah, there's dirt and stuff
Again,
attached.
yeah, again, you have to remember when you're taking pictures, you have to take your pictures first before you do the cast because you could disturb the print and
Yeah,
distort it. So I don't think they did that. I think they were working with plaster first.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
So
so
I can't say either or, but it is something
no,
strange.
it's cool. It's cool because I'd never seen this. This
It's
was one of the ones,
different.
like I said, I'd never seen this one before. So
Yeah. And
that's why I was like,
like
okay,
I
this
said,
is
I
cool.
mean, the some humans have really odd shaped feet, and this could be, just a case in the cryptid way. It's just a
Yeah,
strange, not a classic print. There we go.
yeah, definitely. Okay,
They were wondering if you can turn the print.
you want me to rotate it, type thing?
Yeah, see if you can rotate it.
Try that. How's that?
Yeah, let's look at it this way.
I didn't even think to do this before. That gives it a whole nother outlook. Now
Yeah, I'm
you can see.
thinking.
I don't know. I don't know because, like I said,
I'm
the
thinking the
toes.
print was disturbed. I think it was
But those
disturbed when
toes
they
are
pulled the plaster up.
those toes are so well formed though, I'm just talking about the toes down the side. That's my biggest issue right
That's
there.
odd, isn't it though?
Yeah. The way they go down the side like that, it's like that big toe is the main push off, period,
Yeah,
on that print.
that is very strange.
Yeah, Gary's like, look at the length from big toe to little toe. That's a
I
big
know.
spread. That's a
See,
big
Gary, that's why I
spread.
mentioned you. That's why I mentioned you when we first started. I'm like, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
And I
Um,
mean, this way, the way you've got the print right now, Randy, it
yeah.
really puts the matches in perspective.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
way, it makes the
'Cause you
print look smaller, but you do it this way, it really
your book match is about that right there.
right,
So you talk about that,
right.
and
Well, I
that's
mean, even with putting your hand there, unfortunately, men
I don't know his
have
size.
different size
Yeah.
hands. I mean, some have small hands, some have large hands. It's just you can't really go by the size of the hand, that doesn't make any difference unless you knew. Like people put boot. I know you're laughing, but I know how people put
I
boots
couldn't
up
help
there,
it.
but they say, "Hey, it's a man's boot print and it's a size 10 and a half or 11 or something to give perspective." But when you stick your hand down there, that really gives me no perspective.
Yep. Gary deciphered it like I saw. I saw it as like a cripple foot, but toes are all clear, but the big one no slide, so just an odd shape. Just has to be whatever put it there. That's just an odd shape foot.
Well, see, here's Paranormal Pixie says, reminds me of
Yeah,
my husband and his crooked outside toes.
yeah. So who's to say it couldn't be that thing, that same issue with whatever
That
put it there?
right? That's what I was
So
thinking. I don't know, but that is quite a gap from the big toe to the pinky toe.
yeah,
That is
that's like splaying out your fingers like that. I mean, that's a
that's quite
lot of that's a
yeah.
lot of area between these toes and that toe. That's a lot of area. So
I don't know.
okay, I
I, d-
don't know.
I don't know.
This week we're gonna be saying a lot of I don't knows. Okay,
Yeah, ugh.
I'm gonna have one though. I'm gonna have one. I will have tinfoil on before the night's over. All right.
Donnie Cho says, I hear Bigfoot has also got big hands according to his research.
So how'd you verify that, Donnie?
What kind of research were you doing?
Okay.
I'm gonna go with I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Considering okay, the 1980s, we're still back to the non-digital age.
Yep, this is film, straight out film. But it
I'm
was
gonna
a high resolution film, though. I'll give it that. Look at that.
Yeah,
You look
it
at
was a very
the
good picture.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
they had some good equipment.
yeah,
But I'm gonna go with I don't know.
yep. I'm with you on that. I don't know, and so therefore I'll just have to play the
We'll
game
have to
of
think about
well.
everybody's just gonna have to come to their own conclusion on that.
Yep. Okay. Now we're gonna hit some paranormal stuff. We're gonna have
Oh,
some fun with these.
paranormal.
All right. This was another one I hadn't seen. I've heard the stories about the Godfathers in Utah, the Godfathers Pizza Place in Utah. Heard the stories, everything. I never seen anything until today. And this was captured by a paranormal team in Utah that was investigating. Now, me and you both looked at this. I'm not for sure what's underneath. I'm fairly certain this is some sort of table and chairs.
Yeah.
I'm
Now, do
fairly
we
certain,
know
or
a year
bench.
that this was taken?
Let's see. Let me. I will tell you. I will tell you. The late 99, 2000 time frame. And there's something there, but the thing is, they don't tell us. Is this a window? Is this a door? I'm assuming it's a window.
It looks like a window to me
Yeah.
because considering that we said that that's probably table and chairs underneath,
Yep.
they wouldn't block a doorway. So we're going with window.
Yeah. So there's something there. It's not misty. It's not misty. They said that this thing was actually visible to the naked eye when they were taking the pictures for about 2 to 3 or 4 seconds, I think is what it said. I will tell you real quick because I wrote it down.
Well, you know
Yeah,
you
I
can
do
tell that.
research.
Yeah, this you can tell that this is a zoomed in photo.
Yeah, oh, by a long shot. But they took a picture. Either they took a picture and then zoomed in, or they took a film picture, which 99 2000 could easily have been still film.
Video. Yeah,
Yeah,
it could have been
could have been
video.
video, and
Absolutely.
they isolated, and then they zoomed in after that. So you talk about, let's just say 2000. Let's just say regular old Super 8 millimeter. That's what you talk about more than likely. Maybe VHS, but heck, that's even lower quality than what Super 8 would do half the time.
I'm gonna go with its VHS.
That could be, because once you
Oh,
zoom in, these don't look like pixels. These look like TV lines.
yeah, they do to me
You-
now that you're looking at them.
Yeah,
It looks like they took a picture off of while running video, perhaps.
yeah. And if they were
And
running video on a VHS like we were talking about, video
mhm,
lines would or TV lines would be there because that's what they used. They used TV lines. They didn't use
mhm,
pixels.
mhm.
And scan lines, Moon got it could be scan lines too, if they were scanning it in some way, shape, or form. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's still an older picture, so we don't know how it was taken. I didn't look at their actual investigation. I just did a synopsis of it. And this place is like we talked about. This is a poltergeist haven, the way it sounded like for these guys.
right. Well, here's Eve. Eve said, didn't the old didn't the old or pics look like that as well? I think that that's what we're talking about. Um, they do, but we're right in the middle of the digital and non-digital age. So we
Yeah,
don't know necessarily the origin of this picture and where it came from. I'm just saying it's very hard to tell exactly what this thing is because we can't, we had to really look to determine if that's a table and a chair at the bottom or chairs at the bottom.
yeah.
It is I don't like I said, I don't know if it's a picture of a video or a cut from a video or
Yeah, we just don't know enough about it. This just was the one picture that was out there from that entire investigation. And now I could probably look up some more of it because you're talking about in an entire investigation. They had several spirit sightings. They had of a man, a woman, and two boys. They had a jukebox that played by itself even when it was unplugged, supposedly. The tile
Mhm.
floor inexplicably bulged. We talked about it. We didn't know for sure what tile we're talking about. The tile floor bulged up to 10 inches high and then later went right back down. And after they cut it open or got underneath it, the concrete wasn't messed up, the tile wasn't messed up, but what caused it to come up and down? And then 40 fluorescent light bulbs flew out of their boxes, supposedly 40 of them, 40 of them.
Yeah, that sounds like poltergeist. I
Yeah, and he figured out whatever that spirit said. Hey, look what I can do, and just kept on and
Yeah,
going.
exactly, exactly. I mean, have you heard of any other accounts of this type of activity from other investigators?
No, I haven't seen anything like
Just the
that
one?
on this one. Just these because this is the only write up I've been able to find right then on it. Now there may have been some more. I'll do some more research onto the actual uh,
Yeah,
Godfathers.
dig
'Cause I
in.
don't think Godfathers is around. I may reach out to Josh Elmer. Josh Elmer was one of our guys from Tippa TV. They live out in the Utah area. So
Well, yeah, dig into this one a little bit more. See if we can't get any other footage or maybe some EVPs or maybe something
yeah,
to coincide with this because
yeah,
this one picture and the way that it is presented here does not tell me much.
no, no. It's just a picture of a blur in a window,
Yeah,
which
that's
could
all it was.
easily be a reflection.
Yeah, we'd have to have original footage because who knows how many times that this thing was copied.
Exactly. I mean, there's just no telling.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go with I don't know.
yeah, we're doing that a lot
Uh,
today, aren't
you,
we? I
you
don't
can't
know.
tell me nothing about taking pictures through a window because I've got, like I
Yep.
said, I've got fantastic photos through a window. So, um, so yeah, I mean there is that. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been. I just wish it were better evidence where I could tell a little bit more. Yeah, and and
Well,
and Brandon says it looks like the reflection of someone covered in a sheet. You're absolutely right.
kind of what we originally thought a little bit of that too because
Right.
but these people swear by it. I mean, and I don't
And
like
I'm
to
not doubting them.
tell a
I'm
yeah,
not doubting them. It's just the evidence that they're presenting for their findings right there is not
yeah,
enough for me
no.
to say, yeah.
Now if they'd have got video of those daggum 40 fluorescent bulbs flying, yeah, now we're talking.
Tex says you heard it here. Brady admitted to being a peeping Tom. I'm looking out windows, Tex. I'm looking out windows, not looking in windows. Thank you.
And I think I got a couple of pictures of him doing that. I know of at least one. Okay. Now I'm about to turn this show over to Brandy on this one because I found this by accident and her
Yeah.
eyes lit up.
Yes. Well, you can give us the background, give us the name of the photographer, and I'll go with the rest of it.
Okay. This was at Waverly Hills.
That
This
is
ghost girl
in.
was taken. this was taken by Tom Halstead. It didn't give me a date, but we do know that Tom Halstead was a former skeptic that kind of got into the spiritual world or spirituality, and then and started actually believing in the spirit world, I guess you might say.
Mm-hmm.
But he passed away, sadly. He passed away, and this was one of the pictures that was at his celebration of his work after he passed away. And I'll let you. That's how I found it. And then you started talking. I was like, "Oh crap! I didn't know all this. Hang on, let's see what we got.
Right.
Tell them what you got."
Well, I just want to see what everybody thinks. I mean, can you blow it up to where we can see her pretty well?
Yeah,
There you go. Let everybody look at
she's
her.
leaning on
And
the
what do
wall.
you think? What do you think about her? I
What
mean,
do I
because you
think?
can't miss her.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. Dark-haired lady coming out the door. I see somewhat of a gown, maybe a hospital gown type thing, but you can actually see feet down here. Looks like she's stepping out. It
Hmm.
looks to me like there's
Hmm.
feet there, and she's just stepping out of the door.
Right. And I've been to Waverly Hills and investigated there, and I've walked down this very hallway. And if you look at the whole picture and how it's kind of bare, that
I'll
is
pull back
what
a little.
Waverly Hills looks like through and through. They have things in the rooms, like they might have a bed or something in the room, but there's
Yeah,
nothing in the hallways that would uh like cast a
yeah,
shadow or produce an image. There's nothing there.
yeah. And like Aggie says, she said that everything's crisp in the picture except for her.
Right.
But you even zoom in though. I mean, and I would never say this. There's no overlay. There's no nothing. There's no sign of anything on
No.
there. Literally, when you and me, we've looked at a lot of them that we thought were pretty cool, but when we zoomed it in, we could see little telltale stuff.
Right.
You don't see that at all here. There's no little fine white line around it. There's no little seams that you might see. There's nothing. That is in that picture.
Right.
It's almost like
Okay.
the little
So
boy at Amityville now. I'm looking at it like, wow.
right. Right. Um Randy, while we're sitting here talking real quick, see if you can dig in real quick and
Okay.
find the picture of oh gosh, what's that place in St. Louis? Oh, I can't
Which
think of
one?
it right now. I'll think about it in a minute. Anyway,
Okay.
so Tom took this picture, right?
Yeah.
Tom was a member of a paranormal group, a very large paranormal group at the time,
Okay. Okay.
out of St. Louis. Um, this picture has been authenticated. It is for real. This is
I
not a
believe it.
fake. This is for real. And Tom always had a way of looking somewhere and taking a picture and something being there. It was uncanny. He just knew. It's like I don't know if he had a little bit of a gift that he wasn't aware of or something like that, but he would just feel something and take a picture.
Yeah. And that's cool as heck to me. I mean, people that can figure that have that kind of a sense. Like when we did our investigation together, I knew you honed in on stuff pretty quick.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's you get used to the feeling that you get and you can really dig in and focus. Once you get really used to it and use your gifts and things like that, you can focus in
yeah,
on where exactly you need to be.
yeah.
But this man, who he's now passed away, everyone, he's passed away.
Hmm.
Um, but he has taken several. What is that? What is that park? I'm trying to think of that. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
They said Limp Mansion. What's Limp?
No, no, it's not Limp Mansion. It's a park up there in St. Louis. Oh my Lord. He took a picture and it's you can see trees in the background, then you can see water, and then you can see people standing in the trees.
Oh,
And I can't remember that
wait.
park right
Was
now.
this like the shadow people in the woods?
Yes. Yes.
No, okay. I will find that. I'll bring that up on next week. Then I'll get that and I'll have it for us. So
Yeah, that is
I have
another
seen
one of
that
his
100
pictures.
times. That's one of
Yeah,
his. Okay, I've
that is
seen that
one of
one.
his also. And that's what I'm saying. He had an just great intuition. I mean, he just knew where to take this picture.
Zombie Road.
That's the one. Thank you very much.
Yep.
It was there, but
Crystal came
Zombie
up with
Road
it.
and Saint it's actually a park, and he took that picture there. But this one here is in Kentucky at Waverly Hills,
Yeah.
And it is absolutely just one of the best pieces of evidence in the world today that that there are spirits that are walking around
Yeah.
because
I mean, I,
like
I
yeah
there's no way anybody could. Well, there is obviously skeptics are always going to say they did this or they did that. I'm going to tell you right now, it's kind of like the Patty film. We talk about. This level at the time. I don't know when he took it, and if it was with film, but looking at the pixelation, I'm assuming it's through the digital. But the contours of the woman, the legs, the feet, that's something you don't just come up with, and you see through the leg to the looks like the door hinge there.
right
See and that looks like a hinge, and that looks like a hinge. You see through it, but who would have thought to make it? First of all, this translucent going through in this area, almost solid up here,
I
and then
know
remembering to put feet on it on top of it, feet that
yeah
you can actually discern. That level of let's just say if somebody wanted to fake to that level, then you just look
right
at them like, why?
but then
Why?
again as we talk about pictures sometimes a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy
Yep.
but to see the original in its entirety is something else
Yeah. Oh, I
um
bet it'd be a lot clearer than what
so
we're seeing right here.
yeah and he used film. This is not digital.
Okay. So this is a digitized photo because of the pixels I'm seeing right here.
Right. And that
Okay.
very well could be. That very well could be. Like I said, a picture of this has been out there and across the internet so many times
Yeah.
that who knows what's happened to the picture.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
It
it
floors
is
me.
one
It
of
really does.
yeah, it is one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. This one now ranks, like I said, when we talked about it backstage, this one now ranks up there with the Amityville Kid for me.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about paranormal evidence, this is what I think of right there.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yep.
It's 100% real. It's been authenticated, like I said. Um, it's I don't even
It's been through the
know what
ringer.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
been through the ringer and it's
it's
stood
just
the test of time.
yeah. Like I said, I've walked that hallway,
Yeah, that's another
and
bucket list one for me. So
yeah, but it is a very fascinating place. And like I said, they don't leave things in the hallway because what
people
it
trip
looks
over
like.
them.
Well, what it looks like to me here, and I'm going to tell you, there is a thin hallway that goes down the hallway. Okay, there's like it's really strange. There's a thin hallway. There's rooms on both sides. On the other side of the rooms is an open walkway on the outside of the building. So they have like these other hallways that are open air
Yeah.
because as in tuberculosis times they thought that sunshine and fresh air would cure this and it didn't. So
Yeah.
if you see where she's standing, that is actually a room right there. And what they would do is they would open the doors and push the beds out into what you're seeing here.
Gotcha. Give
So
them
they could
quote
get
unquote
fresh
fresh
air.
air. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can get fresh air and everything on that. And down
Yeah.
on the curve on the backside is where you're seeing where the nurses' stations were, because they did not want to interact with these people as
Yeah.
much. They would put them on the corner, kind of at a slant, so all they would have
Mhm.
to do is lean out and look to see if a patient was having an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't
Didn't want to touch them. Didn't
they
want to
didn't
touch.
want
There
to
was no
yeah
touch. Yeah.
It was like the bare minimum is what they were trying to do. So, like I said, the nurses could look out to see their patients going all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, this looks like on the outside where it's open air. That's
Yeah.
what it looks like to me, and that she's standing there. So, and it looks like she's actually coming out of a room into the open air. That's what it looks like to me for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we could probably do an entire show with stuff we could
We can
find
do a
just
whole
on
show
Waverly
on
Hills.
his pictures.
That
On
and
his
that's what I was
pictures
gonna
alone.
tell you a minute ago. Just say, hey, well, which you're gonna be gone the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna do nothing but just find his pictures that are out on the web, and we're gonna do
Oh
nothing
yeah,
but
do
one
it.
show of his stuff.
Do it.
Just because of what I'm reading on him now, because I've never dealt with the man before. I never knew about it as per se that kind of photographer. I just every once in a while just see his name. Didn't think nothing
Right.
about it.
Well,
But
if
now,
if you want any information else on him, Krista Tweedy from Blogs and Booze,
yep,
she knew him. They were on the same
yep.
paranormal team. She knew him.
Oh, cool.
So you can ask her
Maybe we
and she
sucker her
may
into coming in here
and
for that one.
she'll be with me. You can't have her.
No,
Anyway.
not. I'm talking about when you come back. I'm not doing it while you're gone.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Have her do them? Yeah, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
she may have one in her archive that is not out on the internet. We'll have to see.
yeah. Like I said, I hope
Yeah,
you're
it
hearing
is
us,
very sad when you know
Krista.
the history of Waverly Hills. You are not kidding. They were
Yeah.
talking about um, that they were dying at such a rate that
Hmm.
everybody's heard about the infamous death tunnel in
Yeah.
Waverly Hills.
Yep.
And
Yep.
have I ever walked all the way down it? Heck no. It's only because I'm out of shape and lazy. Um, I've went down into it, but I've not gone all the way to the bottom. That is treacherous, and
She
unless
says this
you're,
to the old fat man.
yeah, I would never go all the way down the death tunnel. You don't. To me personally, you don't have to, just because of the echo and everything else.
Yeah.
You can hear everything in that tunnel because one side is just a flat surface where they would roll the gurneys down, and then the
Yep.
other side of the tunnel right next to that is stairs.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you could do either or. I can't. It's a long way down there, and they were having it to where there were so many dying in a day that they were rolling them down this tunnel, and they would have the hearses pick them up at nighttime,
Yeah.
so the patients wouldn't see them leave. And
Wow.
then it got to the point where there were so many that they were just
Yeah.
rolling them down there and leaving them down there until somebody could pick them up.
Yeah. That's what I remember hearing that when watching several of the documentaries on it. They talked about the tunnel, the tunnel of death, or whatever they want to call it. But there was also a chute too, wasn't there? That they just kind of dumped the bodies down. Was
No,
that in this one, or was this in the it might have been one of the penitentiaries I'm thinking about then on that
yeah,
one.
it might have been another one. This one, they actually rolled them down in on the
Yep.
gurneys and rolled them
Yeah.
down there. It is
Just so
way
the
too
others couldn't
far.
see him. Just so the
Yeah,
others couldn't see him
yeah.
or see
Because
them
when
go
you
out.
take yeah, because you really have to wind your way down into this death tunnel um to push them to push them out because there's just
Yeah.
no way. And then you go down to the bottom and you look at it and it's just, it's a wide door,
Yeah.
but it's nothing, it's obscured, it's like it's kind of made that way so you would notice that particular door. But yeah,
Gotcha.
they were dying at such a rate that they couldn't keep up with it at all.
Yeah. That's such a fascinating. Like I said, it is a serious bucket list one for me, obviously.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
that, of course, everybody says Eastern State Penitentiary and so forth, so on. I'm like, yeah, but this one right here, because we didn't get into the hotel, but like where we're talking about, we've talked about Haunted Hill House here in Mineral Wells, and
Right, right.
and the Baker Hotel is right down the road from it.
Hmm.
We sneak in there as kids because it was shut down for 40 years. I mean, there were so many stories about ghosts and stuff, and I was a delinquent, I guess, because I stuck my way in there a couple of times with nothing but a flashlight and my cigarettes,
Yeah.
and that was it at the
Well,
time.
they're renovating that place now. So,
Yeah, it's gonna be fully blown back open. You can't do it anymore. But like I said, in the '80s, You can ask Tex. We wanted a fright. That's where we went.
Right.
Don't
Right.
get caught because your parents gonna come get you. But
Right. The place that Randy's talking about is not far outside of Dallas Fort Worth.
yeah,
So
sorry
it's
about that, guys.
Mineral Wells, Texas.
Yep.
So they're going to reopen that hotel, and if they have any sense about them, they would do it. They would say it's paranormal. I mean, I think that they would do well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would really do
Oh,
well. All right, everybody. Well, we're creeping up on 56 minutes here.
yep. That's it. Before we go, I'm going to give you a chance to say because I didn't know the man very well, but some people did. I guess we got to pass a little bit. People have heard about Grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the man. I never.
I didn't either. But he was a friend to a lot of people,
Yep.
Bigfoot researcher and what have you. And we just want to say that we're sorry, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and all
Yep.
of that, because he just
Definitely.
passed away. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Well, I'd have to ask Chris if she sent it to me. I just knew it happened. That's
I
all I
think it
know.
was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I get lost in my days, but I think it was yesterday. So our our thoughts and prayers go out to Grumpy's
Yep.
family and friends and
Definitely.
all that. So
I can't leave without at least doing one. I can't.
okay, let's do
gotta have
one,
it.
Randy. Let's do one.
I'll let y'all
Oh
tell
my
me.
God. Real quickly.
Hello, tinfoil. This
Okay,
is our
let's just
winter
talk
dream.
about this really quick with our hats on.
Yeah. This guy staged this whole thing to scare some kids in wintergreen. It sounds like just the little bit I heard about this. Now you look at this. That's railroad tracks. It looks like to me. That's an awful
Yeah,
short Bigfoot.
look at
First off.
and this Bigfoot is standing right beside the railroad tracks. Now look at the size of the Bigfoot and look at the size of the railroad tracks.
Exactly.
There's
This guy
a
did this to
size
scare some kids.
problem.
So like,
There's definitely a size problem.
he's like those little bullies, the bulldogs that are little short little suckers, but they're that wide.
Right. And we see that this has totally been photoshopped in there.
Yep.
Because we were talking about the shadow of it. If there would be more of a shadow on this thing if the light was coming from behind it. So we would see some shadow. All we see is this little itty bitty part that perfectly outlines Bigfoot. Just perfectly.
Okay. Well, now y'all see what we deal with every week. 9,000 of these before I find any good pictures. Okay.
Right. But like I said, that's awfully small as in stature, tall in
Yep.
next to some train tracks, because
That's it.
yeah, that's just that there's a size
Yep.
yeah,
It is what it is.
it
We
is
got to
it
run.
is right.
We got to go, guys. Y'all have fun.
Okay, we'll see everybody next week on Truth or Tinfoil. Well, I won't be available, but Brandi will be here, and we'll see you all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.